Welcome. Today, I'll walk you through how to use the recruitment tracker. So with the help of this particular recruitment tracker, you can track all your job listings, the complete application tracker of all the applicants. You'll be completely able to track it. Then you can try to enter one applicant and then completely see that applicant history. Then we have the assessment tracker, and how about the interviews are going, a complete interview tracker. Finally, we also have a complete recruitment dashboard in this template. So first, I'll show you how you can try to set up the sheet and then use the different tabs over here. So first, I'll go to the setup sheet over here. So in the setup sheet, we have different columns like small tables we have over here. So first is nothing but it's going to be the role. So here you can try to list down the different roles for which you are trying to hire. So these can be different roles which I have already listed down. So if you want to add more roles, you can just try to go below and add it. Or if you want to remove any of these roles, if you think that it's not required, you can just try to remove it and then add whatever roles is only required for you. Next comes the department. So here the department is nothing but, so which department that particular role is going to belong to. So for example, if you see the data analyst, it is going to belong to the data science department. Then we have the software engineer that is going to belong to the IT department. HR is going to belong to human resource department. So like this, we have different departments for each and every job. What is going to be the department? We have just given that in the department table over here. Next is we have the location. So here we can try to add different location for which all locations we are just trying to hire. So let's say if I want to add more locations, let me say that I want to hire in Seattle and let's say California. So these are the two locations if I want to hire some people. I can just try to go and add these locations over here in this particular location column. Next is we have recruiter. So since the whole recruitment, there can be multiple recruiters working for different jobs. So here I have the recruiter names listed. So you can try to have different recruiters who are all going to work for your company. You can just have all your recruiters listed down over here. Next, we have the application source. So these are nothing but these are the different modes of application, how we are trying to get the candidate in for that particular role. So we can have through LinkedIn, we can just try to get a candidate, or through our company website, people can come and apply, or the job listing, or we can get through a referral. So whoever is working in the company, we can just try to get the candidate through referral, or we can have a job board, a career fair, whether we are running, or employee referral, social media, email application. So these are some of the different application sources which I have listed. So if you have any more application sources, you can just try to go and list down. So let's say you are trying to use any other third party job board. So name wise, if you want to have it, let's say Indeed or Monster, if you want to have that application source by the name of the job board, whatever you're trying to run, you can just try to have that name of the job board also over here. Next comes our application stage. So what are the different stages in the application process? The first is going to be the screening process. Then we have the technical test, interviewing, offer, hired and rejected. So this is my application stage, I have given it over here. So if you want to change this application stage, so that if you have a different stages, let's say screening, then you are going to have a first phone call, then you are going to have technical screening, then different interviews. If you're going to have that, you can just try to have the particular process, complete process, different application stages. You can just try to list down over here. Then we have our application status. So this is the stage. Here we have the status. So status is nothing but whether that particular candidate, what is the status of that particular application. So whether he has passed or failed, or whether the offer is made, offer is declined, or it's in progress. So we have the different stages of application which are mentioned over here. Then we'll come to the assessment types. So here I've listed down some of the assessment types, whether the first is going to be the resume review, and then we can have aptitude or cognitive test, then the technical test, then we have the case study or task assessment, then we have interview HR or behavioral, then interview technical round, and then reference and background check. Like this, we have different assessment types. So maybe if you want to go and add more assessment types, let's say there can be a group discussion, right? So this is a group discussion. So this can be also one of the assessment type, whatever can be. So it depends upon job to job. So that we'll see later. So these are some of the assessment types. So in this setup sheet, you can just try to enter all your your different roles, the departments, whatever for that particular role, whatever is going to be the department, then different locations, recruiter, the application source, the application status, and the assessment types. You can just try to completely enter in this particular setup sheet. So next is we'll go to the job listing sheet. So in this particular job listing sheet, we have like all our jobs listed over here. So what all jobs are there, it's completely listed in this particular sheet. So first we'll go through what are the different columns in this particular sheet, and then I'll show you how you can try to add a new job in this particular job listing sheet. So you can see first we have a job ID, because for each and every job, a unique job ID is given so that it will be easy for us to track. So a job ID is given, then we have the role. So whatever is going to be the role. So for example, there's going to be a complete drop down. So here we have the different role, whatever role we have given in the setup sheet. So here we have given different roles, right? So all these roles, we'll get this as a drop down over here. So you can just try to go and select these roles. Next, we have the mode. So what mode, whether it's going to be like a full-time, part-time or contract. So these are the different 3 modes we have. So if you want to add any other mode also, you can just try to go and add in the drop down. So these are usually the 3 important modes of work, how we have it. Next, we have the department. So if it is going to be software engineer, automatically we'll get the department. It's IT. So for example, here data analyst, we have data science. So whatever we have given in the setup sheet. So in the setup sheet, you can see data analyst is going to be data science department, and software engineer is going to be IT department. So automatically that department we'll get it here. Next is going to be the recruiter. So who is going to be the recruiter for this particular job? So here we'll have a drop down with the list of all the recruiters, whoever we have set in the setup sheet. We can try to go and select them. Now we have what is going to be the opening date of that particular job. So now which is going to be the opening date. So here when I've given the opening date, so you can get what is going to be the opening period. That's nothing but which month it was like open, and then what is the closing date, we have it over here. Okay, so here we have the closing date and the closing period we have. So here whether that vacancy has been closed, we have that status over here. So here we have the application window. So the application window is nothing but the how many days this job was open, like from opening to the closing date, how many days, that we'll have the application window over here. Then here we have the hiring budget. So how much is the hiring budget for that particular role, what is the budget which is allocated for this particular role we'll be having. And then here you can have the remarks, like it's filled internally or high competition. So like this, we can just try to have the remarks in this particular column. So now I'll just try to go and add a new job and then show you. Let me say we are just going to have another job. So this role is going to be JL 132. Let me try to have a role for UI UX designer. So this is going to be the job title. So the role is going to be this one. So here we automatically have the department, the product design department. Let's say this role is going to be a full-time job, and then who is going to be the recruiter? So we can have John is going to be the recruiter for this particular role, and what is going to be the start date. So here let me say that the start date is going to be September 1st. Okay, so then here we'll have when we are like trying to close this job. Okay, so we'll just say it's going to be September 30th. Okay, so that is going to be the thing we'll give over here. So here is nothing but we have job like opening period, which period we'll have. So I can just say this as September 2025, right? So this is going to be the period, and then we are just trying to close also in the September itself. So I'll say September 2025. So here we have, and then what is the current status? So here you have the like the status, whether the vacancy is closed or we are accepting applications, all these things we have. So I can have this as like accepting applications, right? So this is going to be like we are just trying to accept the application. So here I can just try to flash fill this one. So automatically I'll get it. Okay, so we can see I'm getting it as accepting applications over here. And then here this formula also we can just try to flash fill below. So here when I try to flash fill, you can see 29 days. The window is nothing but 29 days is the window to like the application window is 29 days, we'll get it. Next we can have this how many days, like what is going to be the budget for this particular row. So I'll just try to drag it, and then I'll say it's going to be like 94,000 euros. So this is going to be the budget for this particular row. Okay, so here if I want to have any other comments or remarks regarding this, I can give it over here. So I can say this urgent hire. So I can just say this as the remarks. So like this is how you can just try to add a job in the particular job listing. So in this particular table, you can just try to add a job. So you can just try to list down all your jobs over here, and then it will be easy for you to track your complete job board with the help of this particular sheet. Next, let's try to go to the application tracker. So here we have different columns. So first is we have the application date. So for which date, whether that particular candidate. So here it's nothing but the which candidate, when they have applied. So the complete details we'll try to have here in this application tracker. So here first we have the application date, which day that particular candidate has applied, and what is going to be the application period. So we'll have for example, if he has applied January, so we'll have Jan 2025. Then we have the application ID. So when the candidate is going to apply, so here we'll have what is the application ID over here. So for each and every candidate, we have a unique application ID for that particular job. Then we have from which source he has applied, we'll have it. So here is nothing but in the setup sheet, we have given different platforms, right? Like the referral, internal referral, or job board, LinkedIn, company website. So these are going to be as a drop down over here. So we can just try to select from which application source he or she is coming. Then we have the candidate ID. So now the application ID we'll have, here we are having the candidate ID. So for each and every candidate, we'll have a unique ID. So what is the difference between the application ID and the candidate ID? We'll first understand. So one candidate can even apply for multiple jobs, but the application ID will be different, but the candidate ID will be the same. So that is what we have over here. So we have the candidate ID we have given for each and every candidate, a unique ID is given. And then here we have the name of that particular candidate and for which job ID he has applied. So here you can see JL101, that's the job ID. So here we'll get what is the role of the job. So who's going to be the recruiter for that job. So all these things are nothing but all these things we have already listed in the job listing. So if you see JL101, so there's the role. So whatever who's going to be the recruiter, like Sarah is going to be recruiter, you can see everything is listed over here. So those details we'll automatically get. And now we can track what is going to be the application stage. So now he is in which stage, we can just try to have it. So whether now he is in the screening stage, we can just try to see, and then you can see the application status. So whether offer has been made or he has it's paused for that particular candidate, whether it has been paused or offer has been made, we can just try to have the status over here. Then we'll have what is going to be his email ID, it's given, and the telephone number is given. So if you want to add any other remarks, you can just try to go and have over here. So this is the complete application tracker. So these are the different columns. So if I want to try to go and add a new candidate, let's say, so here let me say that I'll try to go and say, so September 1st, so automatically I'll just try to flash fill this formula, so automatically we'll get it over here. So here this one, so we'll have there's nothing but this is going to be the application number over here. So we have a unique application number. So let's say this particular candidate has come through a job board, and then for the candidate we'll just try to have a unique ID. So there's the candidate ID. So now we'll have the candidate name over here. So let's say the candidate is going to be John. Yes. So this is going to be the candidate name. And then let's say for which job he has applied. Okay. So that's what we need to say. Let's say he has applied for the job, whatever we have listed. So JL132. Let me say it's going to be JL132. So this is going to be the job he has applied. So see here, automatically we'll get, so what is the job name, the role name over here, and who's going to be the recruiter, we'll automatically get it over here. So now we can have, he's in which stage. So we will say he's in the screening stage, and still now it's in progress. So we can just say his email ID, we can just say john@gmail.com. And we can have his contact number. So we can just try to have his contact number over. So this is how we can just try to have a new application. You can just try to add a new application in this particular application tracker over here. So this is about the complete application tracker sheet. Next, we have the applicant looker. So what this applicant looker will do is that, so we have many candidates in our application tracker sheet, right? So if you want to just try to go and look for a particular person, if you want to look for that particular person, you can just try to go to this applicant looker and then just try to have the complete summary about that particular candidate. So let's say if I want to know about John. Okay, so I'll just try, here is nothing but we'll have a complete drop down. So I'll say John S. So here you can see we have John S. So what is going to be the application ID, candidate ID, date of application, job ID, role, the recruiter, who's going to be the recruiter, his email, telephone, so how he came, then the screening, the in progress, what is the application status, whether he has done some assessment also, we'll get the complete assessment summary. Okay, so that is nothing but it's there in the assessment tracker. So I'll show you next how the assessment tracker is going to look like. So here, this applicant lookup is nothing but this applicant lookup will give you the entire history of that particular candidate. So let's try to go and just if I want to search for any other candidate. So let's say we'll search for Blessing. So okay, so if you see Blessing, so he has applied for JL 107. That's the job ID. That's nothing but for the sales executive job. So here you can see what is the different assessments he has gone through till now. So first is the case study or the task assessment. So with whom is going to be the evaluator we'll have. So what is the score and what is the remarks from that particular assessment we'll get. Then the interview HR behavioral was the evaluator, what is the score. Then the technical test, like this aptitude, all the different tests, whatever he has taken till now, we'll completely able to get the assessment summary in this particular sheet. So there's nothing but it's a complete like a candidate applicant history if you want to see it. So if we just try to go and just select the candidate, so the complete applicant history you will be able to see in this particular sheet. Next we'll go to the assessment tracker. So here in the assessment tracker, for like each and every candidate, there can be like multiple stages in the interview, like multiple assessments can happen, right? So we have already listed down some different assessments, like we have said like the resume review, aptitude, all these we have given in this like the setup sheet, right? So here in the assessment tracker for that particular candidate, what is going to be the assessment date and which period it is done, then what is the application ID of that particular candidate. Okay, so there's nothing but we already have this in the application tracker. Okay, so the application ID, so what is the candidate ID, then his name, everything we'll get it. Okay, so once we just try to select the application ID, we'll be able to get the candidate ID, the complete the candidate name, his job ID, what role he has applied, who's going to be the recruiter, everything we'll get it. Now what we need to do is only this part we need to fill it, like what is the assessment. So different assessment type we can just try to select, then who's going to be the evaluator, and then what is going to be the score for that particular evaluation. So what was done by David Lee, what is the score, and what was the remarks from him. So easily we'll be able to track it over here. So like this we can just try to have different assessments. So for one person there can be multiple assessments, right? So there can be like different process of the interview. So we can just try to have different process, like different stages over here. So if I want to go and add assessment, let's say it's going to be today. So I'll just try to completely flash fill this. So here, let's say the applicant number is going to be, we'll just try to do it for the applicant whoever we have added. That is the John S, right? So here the applicant ID is APP2075. That's the applicant ID. So I'll just try to go and have this applicant. So this is the applicant. So here, see, complete details I have got about this applicant. So now we'll have the recruiter. So this is the recruiter. Whoever is the recruiter, we are just getting the name of the recruiter. So we can just try to enter the recruiter name over here. And then here we can have what is going to be the first round. Let's say he's going to have a resume review. So with whom he's going to have? Let's say he's going to have with David. So David Lee, I'll say. At that, what is going to be his score? Let's say his score is 78. A good profile, I'll say. So like this, we can just try to have the resume review. So like this, we can just try to go and add in the assessment tracker. You can try to add different assessments, whatever you're just trying to do. So all the assessments you can just try to have. So everything will be completely, you will be able to track all the assessments with the help of this particular assessment track. Next, we have the interview tracker. So here in the interview tracker, we'll just try to have the different interviews. Okay. So like what are the interview stages? So how the interview is going to, who's going to be the interviewer, all these details, we'll just try to have it in this particular interview tracker. Here, first we have the interview date. So which date that particular interview is going to happen. Then we have the interview period. So that's nothing but if it's going to be August, we'll have August 2025. If it's going to be September, we'll have September 2025. Then the application ID, the whoever is going to be the applicant. So that application ID, we'll have it. So here we'll have whether the interview is going to be like virtual or in person. Okay. Then what is going to be the round? For the first round, technical, final round. So we'll have different rounds. So now when we have the application ID, automatically we'll get the candidate name for which job ID he has applied, for which job role he has applied, and who's going to be the recruiter. We can get all these details. Now we can have who's going to be the interviewer. So interviewer is whoever is going to be the interviewer. We can just try to enter their name over here, and whatever is going to be the remark from that particular interview, we can just try to have these details. So like this, you can just try to add a new entries and then completely track all the interviews. Whatever interviews are happening, you will be able to completely track it with this particular interview tracker. So these are some of the different like sheets where you can try to first sheet is like to track all your job listing. The next sheet is like to track the application. Next is going to assessment. Next is going to be the interview tracker. So how all the interviews are happening, you'll be able to track it. Next, we have the recruitment dashboard. So this is the final thing. So here on the recruitment dashboard, you can see we have some of the important key pointers at the top. So filter by recruiter. So if you want to find by each and every recruiter whoever we have, you can just try to say select the recruiter over here in the drop down, and then select by role also. You can just try to find out. So now I'll just keep it all and then I'll just show you. So here you can see what are the vacancies posted. So total number of vacancies posted, you'll be able to see it, and then how many are open vacancies. Okay. So how many vacancies are still open, you'll be able to see it over here. And then here you can see how many applications we have received till now. Okay, so the total number of applications, you'll be able to see it over here. Next is we have the average application window. Okay, so how many days it's trying to, we are having the average application window, we'll be able to see it. Then we'll have application to hire rate. Okay, so this rate also we'll have. So how many people have applied, how many we are able to close it. So we have the application to hire rate over here. So next we have the total upcoming interviews over here. So how many interviews are upcoming next, which is coming next. We'll try to have that up, the complete upcoming interviews we'll have over here. Then we have the recruitment budget. Okay, so this is the complete recruitment budget. So all these are completely in euros. So here we can set it up in euros. So the complete recruitment budget we'll have it. So that is nothing but it's like 1,661,000 euros is going to be the total recruitment budget. So for all our jobs, we'll have it. Next is we have the total number of hires. So how many people we have hired till now. Okay, so till now we have how many people we have hired, and then how many we have closed the vacancies. Okay, so that one we can just try to have it over here. Next is we have the cost per hire. So the cost per hire is for one hire, how much is we are trying to spend. So that is the cost per hire rate we are trying to have. So below this one, we have some different graphs. With the application status, what is the difference? So we can see 20 application is in progress, 21 offer accepted, then we have 1.4% offer has been declined, then we have 25 offer has been made, and then next is 7 has failed. So all these things, with the help of the percentage and the number, we'll be able to see a complete application history with the help of this donut chart over here. Next we have the monthly recruitment budget. So for each and every month, what is going to be the recruitment budget, we'll completely try to have it. So you can see for each and every month, what is the recruitment budget over here. So for Jan, Feb, March, everything, you'll be able to see the complete recruitment budget over here. So next we have the monthly interviews. So each and every month, how many interviews we are just trying to take. So for August, you can see 7 interviews, September 7 interviews, October 4, November 10, and then December 2 interviews which are scheduled. Okay. So easily how many interviews are scheduled, you'll be able to see with the help of this donut chart over here. Next, we have the role per recruiter. So for each and every recruiter, how many roles we have given. Okay, so that one we can see. So for, let's say for Sarah, there are so many roles, 8 roles are given. So for Clinton, you can see only 3 roles. John Brown, only 3. John Bello also, only 3 roles. So easily we'll be able to see with the help of this role per recruiter. Next, we have the interview modes. So how many interviews are happening in person and how many interviews are happening virtual. You can see 53% are virtual and 46% are in-person interviews. So you'll be able to see this. Next, we have the application stage. So how many are in the technical test, screening, offer stage or interviewing stage. So these we can see it over here in the application stage. So last, we have some 3 important graphs. That is hires per month. So how many hires we are able to do per month? We have completed, we have tried to fill that row. So 2 here and then 3 on the Feb. So every month you can see around 2 to 3 we are able to do it. But March and October is pretty less, right? So 1. You can see this with the help of this hires per month bar chart. Next we have the application source, a column chart. So how we are trying to get the application. So from this particular graph, we can just see that with the help of LinkedIn, we are able to like get more applications like 22. Then we have the job board and referral. Okay. But the career fair or company website and social media is not giving that much traction, like very less only applications we are getting. The more applications are coming from these three places. That's the job board, LinkedIn, and referral is where more applications are coming. Next, we have the applications per role. So for each and every role, how many applications we have got. So here you can see for HR role, we have got more applications. For how many, like for content strategist, only one application we have received till now. So all these things we will be able to easily see for each and every role, how many applications we are able to get over here. So these are some of the important graphs. With the help of these graphs, you can just try to take some good decisions. So how well that particular job we are able to close, at how well a particular recruiter is able to perform. So if I want to find for a particular recruiter, let's say John Bello. So he has only 3 vacancies posted, 1 is open, so only 6 is received. So completely for that particular recruiter, we'll have the complete details over here. So you can just try to change if you want to like evaluate that particular recruiter, how well he's doing. So just by seeing this one, you can just see how many jobs he has posted, how well he has closed the jobs, everything you'll be able to completely see. The complete dashboard will completely change for that particular recruit. So this is how you can use this complete recruitment dashboard. So from the job listing to the complete interview stage and till the offer stage, you can completely track all these things with the help of this recruitment tracker dashboard. I hope you'd have understood how to use the complete recruitment tracker dashboard and then like use it to fill all your positions. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in another tutorial.